3 days, 5 buddies, and one stretch of desert river in Idaho. We loaded our kayaks with food, coolers, rods, and way too many buzzbaits and set off for smallmouth bass, camping, and whatever trouble we could find. I was surprised to learn that a few pieces of gear we took turned out to be way more useful than I expected. This is our Snake River kayak fishing trip.
Gear up and get outside.
We were actually only about 50 miles from Boise as a crow flies on this trip, but it felt like another world. This section of the Snake is all flat water, nothing crazy, and we were aiming to do about 36 miles over 3 days. About half of it winds through farmland, half through public land, and it's all desert country. It gets hot during the days, up into the 90s, but it cools off at night. The best part though is that this river is full of fish. It was perfect for a close-to-home getaway that feels more like a remote backcountry adventure. Welcome to Idaho. We launched the boats and hit the water in the morning, lines in almost right away. Andrew, of course, the lone fly fisherman, was the first to land a nice smallmouth bass on some big nasty fly. Go figure. I caught maybe 8 or 10 bass that first day, plus a couple of the nicest rainbow trout of my life. But I didn't manage to get decent photos of them. It felt like a solid start to the trip, but little did we know, that was just the warm-up. One of the things that kept us organized was a Ruck's 70-liter crate that Jack had on his boat. It became the camp kitchen box. Dry food, stove, cooking gear, all in one place. It's not waterproof if you capsize or submerge it, but it shrugs off splashes, dirt, and abrasion like a champ. Expensive? Oh yeah, but useful? Big time. Got a honey hole. We found a scrappy little patch of BLM land and called it camp for the first night. Dinner was New York steaks and green beans, followed by Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches.
Eat ice cream at home, it's good, but it doesn't, like make you want to cry.
Life was good, until it got dark and the mosquitoes rolled in. Within 2 minutes, we were sprinting for the tents, where we called it a night. Day 2 was unreal. We found honey hole after honey hole of fish. People don't really do multi-day floats like we did on this stretch of river, so the fish don't get much pressure from anglers, and it shows. I kid you not, at one hole, John was reeling in fish after fish while guys were swimming 10 feet away. These smallies were begging to get caught. By the afternoon, we stumbled on what we started calling Bass Bench, a rocky ledge in knee-deep water where you could drop a Ned rig into the deep and immediately hook up. It was like fishing in a video game. At one point, I caught 5 bass in 5 casts. At another, 3 of us had fish on at the same time, lines tangling, fish literally running between our legs. I must have landed 30 fish in 90 minutes, but among the 5 of us, well over 100, easy. We hooped and hollered and laughed until our arms were literally sore from catching so many fish.
So I've lost 1 rod today already, so that was perfect.
Thank you, sir. That's the day I finally understood why people get addicted to bass fishing.
Well,
Part of what made it so fun for me were the rods I was using, all borrowed from my buddy John. I really liked his favorite fishing, that's a brand name, not just a superlative, 7-foot medium heavy rods with a fast action. Sensitive, easy to fill a bite, and perfect for throwing buzz baits, which was new to me. I'll admit, I struggled with the technique on those topwater baits the first day, but by day 2, I was getting the hang of it and landing some really nice fish. And when a smallmouth explodes on a buzz bait, man, there's nothing like it.
hold it up for the camera, dude. Oh man, wow, that's so awesome.
One of the perks of kayak camping is that you can eat like a king. Grapes, jerky, cheese, burritos with all the fixins. This is stuff you'd never pack in a backpack, but it fits just fine in a kayak. We may have overdone it on the coolers. We had 4 of them between 5 guys, but honestly, it worked out perfectly. I had the RTIC Ultra-Light 30 with all the cold food, perfect size for the Hobie Mirage Outback Kayak's little cargo bay behind the seat. It kept our steaks, butter, and burrito meat cold till the last day. John ran a Rugged Road 65 just for drinks. It was opened a dozen times a day, and John drained off the ice water to reduce the weight on his boat, but even then, it didn't tap out until the last day, right when we finished the last can. Perfect timing. Ethan had a YETI Roadie 20 just for ice cream. Yes, ice cream. We even brought dry ice in this cooler to see if it would work. We made a whole video about that experiment that you can go watch next if you'd like, but let's just say it half worked and we learned some things. Still worth it though. Andrew hauled an Oyster Tempo cooler strictly for ice. We even brought a scoop so we could somewhat sanitarily top off our bottles with ice water all day. In the desert heat, that was a luxury. Of course, the coolers wouldn't have been nearly as effective or great without insulated bottles and mugs. Everyone had one. It meant cold water all day long. I also had a YETI Rambler 1-gallon jug that stayed icy the whole trip, plus a stainless steel can koozie for my soda. These little luxuries made a big difference, and they sure as heck made me love kayak camping. That night, we lived it up. Burritos loaded with meat, beans, guac, salsa, the works. We washed that down with Snickers ice cream bars before we crashed on our cots. Let's just say kayak camping makes sleeping on the ground not half bad. Our cooking setup was simple but perfect. A 12-inch Lodge cast iron skillet with double handles will do and cook just about anything on just about any camp out. Plus, we had a $25 Amazon special folding single burner butane stove. That little stove put out some serious heat. It fit neatly in the rucks, and it handled everything from steak to bacon and eggs. Sometimes cheap and simple gear is all you need. By day 3, the wind picked up and the river slowed down. We were pedaling hard, making up miles since we took our time the day before. Fishing was tougher that day, but we still managed a few good ones. We were tired and less chatty, but happy. A couple more gear shout-outs. 4 out of 5 of us used those Sea to Summit Big River dry bags. They're lightweight and bomb-proof with their unique ripstop hybrid fabric, and they're way easier to manage than the cheapies. Plus, I love the webbing on the side for tie-down straps and also with a really nice grab handle. Worth it. I was also testing RTIC's new Ultra-Dry duffel and backpack. You can go watch the full video on those if you're interested, but they worked great, kept everything dry, and the backpack carried all my camera gear perfectly. And then there's that Sims Glades sun hoodie I wore the whole time. I got it for half off at Scheels, and it's the best impulse buy I've made. It's a perfect weight. Chest pocket, thumb loops, a hood that actually stayed put on the bill of my hat under the sun all day. I actually tore this shirt after this trip, but I love it so much that I think I'm gonna pay full price for a new one. At the end of it, our kayak camping trip was close to home, but it felt like a world away. And that's what it's all about. Good friends, good food, good gear, good adventure, and ridiculously good bass fishing. The Snake River delivered, and the right gear made the whole thing a blast. Dadgummit, Bass Bench was awesome. If you like seeing gear put to the test on real trips, subscribe to the channel and stick around. We've got plenty more adventures coming along with gear tests, reviews, and comparisons. And sign up for our email newsletter, The Honey Hole, for tall tales, outdoor gear deals, gear reviews, and weekly gear giveaways. Thanks for watching. Now gear up and get outside.